Have you ever done something really stupid, tedious, and time consuming, taking dozens, if not hundreds, of hours to do it, all to have it boiled down to just a few minutes? Well, I have. Hey, I'm Lax. I like playing Pokemon, making bad decisions, and making dumb videos. You may notice a recurring theme if you decide to stick around. The gentleman in the background is me, and this little guy is Sunkern. And this video is all about Sunkern. Now, you may be asking yourself, why in the world does this Pokemon deserve its own video? Well, it doesn't, and it's not even close. However, my extended torment certainly just might. No, there's nothing exciting, intriguing, inspiring, or otherwise compelling about Sunkern. In fact, I think I can say without a doubt that the most remarkable thing about this Pokemon is just how unremarkable it is. Pitted against all other Pokemon, which is 1,025 at the time of the making of this video, Sunkern comes in at second worst in terms of raw base stats, which is honestly kind of impressive, if not in the worst way. But hey, if Sunkern is second worst, then that means there's at least one Pokemon in the world that's weaker than it, right? Well, yes, Wishiwashi. It has the lowest base stat total of any Pokemon in any game. However, to call it worse than Sunkern is a little bit of a lie. You see, it also has a really cool ability that allows it to gain immense strength while losing a little bit of speed, and makes it a really powerful force. It also gets some really sick lore in Alolan and Galarian, calling it the Demon of the Sea, and saying things like Gyarados and Wailord flee from it. That sounds pretty cool, right? Yeah, Sunkern doesn't get any of that. It is true that it is slightly stronger than Wishiwashi with a base stat total of 180, and it can evolve when exposed to a Sunstone. But, for all practicality, that's not going to happen. At least not for me. More on that at the end of the video. But, do you know what Sunkern does have going for it? Well, certainly not deep or intriguing lore. Having attempted all of this on Pokemon Violet, I am far too familiar with the Pokedex entry stating it is very weak, and its only defense is to shake its leaves. And that's not new or updated lore. Oh no, that's a callback, taken word for word from Pokemon Crystal version, all the way back in Generation 2. That's right, Game Freak has been bullying Sunkern for over 25 years, with various Pokedexes calling it a weak little Spiro-fearing, dew-drinking leaf shaker. I'm paraphrasing, of course, but only a little bit. No, Sunkern gets badass gems such as, knowing it's weak, it simply feeds until it evolves, and it lives by drinking only dewdrops. It is said it eats nothing else. Game Freak also wants you to know very much that Spiro's dad can totally beat up Sunkern's dad, saying, if attacked by a Spiro, it will violently shake its leaves. And on another intriguing note, multiple Pokedex entries refer to Sunkern falling out of the sky, specifically in the morning. This is not further explained at all in any of the online information, or in any of the 12 games that reference this. So that's weird. My only guess is that the big bully Spiro is hurling these things down from the stratosphere as a show of dominance. And as a side note to a side note, if Sunkern subsists entirely upon dewdrops from underneath plants, does that mean we can expect Sunkern to do the dew? Oh, I'm sorry. So anyway, what's the point of all this? The lackluster facts, the half-assed humor? Well, believe it or not, this video wasn't started with the intention of making a video game essay about our favorite flower child. Nor was this supposed to be an outlet for my stand-up routine. Those last 4 syllables being in quotation marks. So why? Why do this? Well, I originally started with a goal in 2023 to shiny hunt one of every Pokemon in Generation 9's Scarlet and Violet. Sometime after setting that goal, I decided to videograph the whole process. Through catching, hatching, or evolving, I'd record the best and worst bits. Sunkern was certainly one of those worst bits, and it would continue to stump me for many hours and many eggs. You see, there are only 2 real ways to get a shiny Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet. You either find them in the wild, or you hatch them from an egg. And that's pretty much it. And when given the chance, I always opted to find a Pokemon in the wild. It was somehow more soothing to my brain to wander around and sightsee while just trying to spot the difference being a shiny Pokemon. This option did not present itself very well when it came to Sunkern. It only spawns in flower patches in certain areas, and with it being only grass type, it's impossible to find a good combination of area and other Pokemon to make hunting it exclusive or easy. So what was I to do? Cry? Absolutely. But also eggs. Over 2,000 of them. The base rate for hatching a shiny Pokemon from an egg is 1 in 4,096, but we've got a couple things we can use to our advantage. The Shiny Charm and the Masuda method. With these two things combined, it brings it all the way down to 1 in 512. That's not looking too bad, right? Certainly a lot better than 1 in 4K. It was at this point that I realized that RNG can be a real bitch. Coincidentally, it was also at this point that I realized that I have someone in my life that makes decisions just as badly as I do, and I could not be more grateful. At exactly 2,000 eggs, she offered to assist me in this grind, and with a backlog of over 10 boxes still left to hatch, I graciously accepted. And in 22 eggs, she smugly told me it was done. 22. RNG can be a real bitch. I never got my own Sunkern. I could never hatch my own shiny. No, not until I ended up hatching through the backlog of eggs for B-roll for this video. Yeah, you heard that right. I have 2 of them. I am now the proud owner of 2 of what I believe may well be one of the rarest, or at the very least, the most tedious shiny Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet to hunt. So now what? Well, remember when I had something cooking earlier in the video? All this exposition, all this research, seeing all the hate that Sunkern gets online, and now being a part of all that hate, got me thinking, what if I gave Sunkern a chance? Allow it to try and solo the entirety of Scarlet and Violet. So, that's what we're going to do. And that'll about do it for this one. If you made it all the way to the end of my first video, I have to tell you, I appreciate it. It's taken a lot of work, a lot of editing, and man, a lot of procrastination to get this out to you. If you did enjoy it, hey, I hope to see you in the next one. I know I'm supposed to ask for likes or whatever, but I'm not really good at that, so bye.